Good morning, Thriving Warriors. Alexa, what is the date?
It's Monday, December 26th.
Great. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 6:16 a.m.
6:16 a.m. Alexa, what is the weather?
Right now in Amargosa Valley, it's 41 degrees Fahrenheit with partly cloudy skies. Today's forecast has intermittent clouds with a high of 60 degrees and a low of 41 degrees.
Great. Okay. Well, it's getting warmer, that's for sure. Okay, we got a lot to do today. This is the beginning of week 4 in our basic training course. This is about helping you get from point A to point B, where B is better. Our goal is to help you get there. That's what we do at our Department of Career Services at Thriving Warrior. Good morning, Charlene. Haven't heard from Diana today. Okay, so we have a bunch of breadcrumbs. We do it by leaving breadcrumbs along the path from point A to point B, where B is better. This is the first breadcrumb. We have breadcrumbs below in the description, about 7 or 8 of them. Link to our online course, a link to the motivational video, which I watch, take notes of for this, link to the TED Talk that goes along with today's day in our basic training course. Good morning, Diana. This is week 4, day 1. Professor Nancy Kane from Harvard University, who's been a big supporter of our school over the years, given us hundreds of copies of her book. Then we have a link to the Headway book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is required reading. We've put a link in there so you can read the abbreviated version of the book and get out of it what you need to get you motivated to go to the next step. Then we have a bunch of links and things to the services we provide our members: housing, clothing, food, hygiene, training, transportation, foundational employment, and career planning. All of that stuff is available. We don't force it upon you. We put it out there. You have to go get it, pick it up. Like you can lead a horse to water, but what, Diana? Okay, the next breadcrumb is the transcript of Seth Godin's daily blog, which is always good. And now the next breadcrumb is our theme. Our theme, you want to get from point A to point B, where B is better. It's simple, ... breadcrumb, 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 crucible therapy. Crucible therapy. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Oh, second's up. Okay. Make sure you have your coffee. Beep. Actually, I'm just faking it, but I didn't make coffee this morning. We had some internet issues once again. Footnote. Yesterday was a very difficult day. Thank you, Charlene. Can't make it drink. Right. Difficult day. I wrote down a list of 16 things that went bad yesterday. 16 things that made it very difficult, including a car having an electrical problem, dying out on Bell Vista Road near the California-Nevada border, near the preserve, Ash Meadows Preserve, waiting for over 4 hours. 4 hours, and then of course having to get to back 6-hour thing because of an electrical problem in the Kia. So that's how the day topped off after a whole bunch of other problems. But we learned from the movie The Martian, you just solve one problem at a time. One problem. Go to the next problem. Okay, that's how you do it. You don't get overwhelmed by the problems. Just focus on what's the next thing I need to get done in order to continue to move forward. And then what's the next thing after that? Is it easy? No, but it's simple. Just focus on the problem that's holding the obstacle right now. Then get the next obstacle. Try to get it so that you're not continuously putting out fire. You're in firefighting mode. Don't do things to start fires. Put out the fire. Move to the next one, but don't do things, don't leave the gasoline out. That's going to catch on fire again. Okay, a lot to it today. Nancy Kane, crisis leadership. So this is week 4. Week 1 was introduction orientation to our neuroscience-oriented approach to success. Week 2, how does the brain work? Or if we're using the metaphor of driving a car, how does a car work? And then we teach you to drive it. Back to week 1, introduction and orientation. Where are we going? What is our goal? Our goal is to get to Successville. We need certain things to get there. We need certain skills to get there, but we also need other people to help us. We need to get people in our car. We need a car. We need to know how to drive the car. We need people to help us because getting to Successville is not easy. And once we arrive, it doesn't guarantee that we are going to be successful. We just have all of the stuff we need, and now we need to execute. Okay, that's week 1. Week 2 is getting the car, learning how to use the car, figuring out what kind of car we need. Week 3, getting people in the car, because I can't get there without that. And our foundation is the what? The elegant what? Elegant equation. Bond, add value, and ask. And then we learn how to do that through our speakers, David Logan, Seth Godin, Simon Sinek, David Phillips, Derek Sivers, etc. So we have to get the right people in the car. They have to want to help us get to Successville, point B. They can't be in the car to help us go somewhere else or get us distracted from getting there. We need to choose the right people, and that doesn't happen by accident. It takes focus and a plan. And then now week 4 is don't crash the car. Now that we have the car, we know how to drive the car, we've got the right people in the car. Now we just have to not crash the car. We have to execute the plan. That's what we need to do. Nancy Kane, now this week is talking about, so this is generally what we call leadership. This week is about leadership. Don't crash the car. We've got the people in the car. We have to get them to the car. So we have a spectrum. Today we start with Nancy Kane, crisis leadership. And she has a bunch of her own breadcrumbs on how to deal with crisis leadership, which she says is the state of the world today. Tomorrow, we are going to go to the opposite end of the spectrum, pure leadership. And we're going to learn about Marcus Aurelius and Stoicism. Well, fortunately, we don't live in either of these extremes. We don't have the power of doing anything we want. We're not king of the world, where anything we want, we can have. And we're not teetering on the floorboards of like President Lincoln during the Civil War, where it was just total crisis, or Ernest Shackleton when his ship, the Endeavor, was crushed in the ice and he had 26 men whose lives he had to save, which he did. So we don't live in these extremes. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we come back to the middle, which is practical leadership. How do we do it in today's world, where we have some of this and some of that, but it's mostly in between? That's this week. Okay, good, cool. How about now we go to Seth Godin. Seth Godin, how long is forever? And how soon is never? Most organizations are fundamentally incapable of planning 10 years out. True, because they don't control anything else. When a company promises to be carbon neutral by 2030, they're actually saying they may never be. That's because almost all the pressures on them are the short-term pressures. And it doesn't help that few people expect to be in the same job or even the same company then. So it's easier to simply describe something in the future, in the distant future, and then go back to work, where work means obsessing about the short term. Of course, it's not just companies that do this. Individuals do too. And companies are simply groups of people. Okay, so we might have a plan. 10 years from now, I'm going to do this. But we don't control all of the things that happen in between, so we never accomplish those things. We just focus on the short term. Changing our definition of now and later is a powerful competitive advantage. So in other words, my hunch would be now doesn't mean right now, doesn't mean this quarter. Now means a lifestyle. And later means we're not concerned about that. We have to focus on the now, but the now isn't like right now. It's where we're going now. Could be totally wrong. Okay, where are we? We are at 10:07. Yes, so it's simple. Crucible therapy. Work hard. Crucible therapy. Goal is to be better. That's it. Simple goal. Each day, focus on becoming better. Focus on the four-legged table. You don't have to be better at all things. You can focus on being better at one of the four things today and do another one tomorrow, and then keep working at it. Happiness is a function of EDSO, endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, divided by cortisol. So if you have a lot of endorphins, meaning you're physically active, dopamine, you have goals, targets, plans. Serotonin, you take pride in what you do and others are proud of you. And oxytocin, wanting to be with other people. If you have that and a little bit of stress, you're going to have a lot of happiness, period. It's impossible not to. On the other hand, if you have low amounts of that and low cortisol and high cortisol, the opposite. Or if you have a moderate amount of that and high cortisol, you're not going to be happy. So happiness is a function of endorphins, dopamine, certain neurotransmitters divided by the amount of cortisol that you have. And the more cortisol you have, the more it tends to negate the positive things. So if you have no positive things, if you're just laying in bed or laying around thinking of all of your problems, you're not doing anything, not masking physical pain. You're not active. You don't have any goals. You're not proud of yourself. You feel guilty that you're laying in bed. Nobody else is proud of you. You're alone. You're not releasing those neurotransmitters and hormones. And you're thinking about the problems that you have and your guilt and shame, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Not going to be happy. All you need to do is increase EDSO. Crucible therapy. Be active, be physical, burn off the stuff. If you spend your time working during the day, doing something, doing physical stuff, walking, set a goal. I'm going to walk 20 miles today. That's not a big deal. People run that in 4 hours, less than 4 hours. Don't think, do. Don't think about your problems. Just do stuff. Get out there. If there's a pile of bricks, stack them. Pile of rocks, create a design out of them. Don't think, do. Burn off negative thoughts. As St. Ignatius did during his convalescence. When he was sitting there, he couldn't move. His leg was being stretched out. All he had was 2 books, his imagination, and the things he could remember. And he did not focus on the negative stuff. Work hard. Okay, some memes from today's video. Work hard, but not from fear. Pursuing a goal. Foundation, goal, and plus discipline. Goal plus foundation. The foundation of crucible therapy is a goal plus discipline. What are you trying to accomplish and have discipline? All I'm trying to do is dig a hole. Great, dig it. And just keep digging. Develop talent and skills. Develop your talent and skills. That's the goal. Daily goal. Just going to get a little bit better. Can't be great by giving 80%, less than 100% for long periods of time. Diane, okay. Diana's a little bit ahead of me. Learn and improve. Okay, some of the other things. Jack Ma from the Chinese company. Learn and improve. That's the goal. Every day, learn and improve. Tony Robbins says, have a hunger. Don't tolerate your circumstances. And let's move on. Okay, so we've done that, we've done that, we've done that. And now it's time for the last breadcrumb, which is the Navy SEAL Maxim. We're here at 1434. Navy SEAL Maxim is, Charlene has the thumbs up. Yesterday was the only easy day. Yesterday was the only easy day. Last breadcrumb of the day, act such that yesterday was the only easy day. Today's going to be a little bit, I'm going to push myself a little bit more. I'm not going to break myself. I'm going to push myself. But if I do break myself, my body's going to improve. And next time I'm going to be able to do a little bit more than that. And if I keep doing a little bit more, trying to be better, where am I going to end up? At point B. Correct. Right. How do we act such that yesterday was the only easy day? What are some of the things we can do? Embrace the suck. Diana retracted her message for some reason. We can embrace the suck. We can get comfortable being uncomfortable. We can do from the Martian, focus on solving the problem at hand. Just solve a problem, solve the next problem, solve the next problem, solve the next problem. And either you're going to run out of problems or you're going to get better at solving them. Okay, Charlene says, be more samurai, karate chop chop. And let's call it a day for that. Let's end this stream. And somebody say, and cut. Thank you. And cut, and cut.